Okay, so this building is a very long building as I mentioned, and that far west side one for the first king, the founder, and that one over there, last king, 19 chambers in this order here. And the beginning of my tour already mentioned this. Everything burned down during the Japanese invasion late of 16th century. But what about those wooden tablets? Were they burned down that time? No, we saved them because before the enemies arrived here, we already took them out, spirit tablets, moved to the secure place in the north part of Korea. And after rebuilt this building and re-enshrined spirit tablets here again. So inside of it, they're all original, the genuine spirit tablets. One of them has been more than 600 years. It's a very old one. That's why Jongmeo Shrine is very important here in Korea, right? So this one has 19 chambers for the 19 kings. But you know that during Joseon Dynasty, there are more than 19 kings. Total 27 monarchs. But this one has only 19 because when we built up this shrine at first, it was originally supposed to have only 5 chambers for 5 ancestors. So they are the first king, the founder and the reigning king's ancestors up to the full generation. His father, grandfather, great-grandfather, and great-great-grandfather of this reigning king, only for those 5 ancestors at the first time. But if this reigning king, if he passes away, this 4th generation ancestor, he becomes 5th. So in this case, we have to evaluate his achievements. If he had great achievements, he could stay here forever regardless of generation. But if this king had a few achievements, for example, short-term kings, 1 or 2 years, it's not enough time to have any achievements. Or the kings who got the king's title posthumously. We call them posthumous kings. Have you heard about posthumous kings before? Right, he was not a king at all. Only after he passed away, he got the king's title. So for example, he is a king and has a son, crown prince, for the next king. But unfortunately, if the crown prince passes away before he becomes a king, in this case, his son takes a throne from his grandpa, becomes the next king. So this next king could give the posthumous king's title to his birth father. Posthumous kings, sort of honorary title of a king after he passed away. So in this case, who's not a king at all, couldn't have any achievements. These posthumous kings and the short-term kings, they should be moved to that building number 4. The secondary shrine hall. So that's why there are 2 shrines. That's why the secondary shrine hall has a little smaller size than this main one here. And we have more kings with great achievements. That's why this building should be extended more to enshrine them. So we can see this long building with 19 chambers right now. Okay, so we check this main one like this, and shall we move into the last one? Please come this way.